Welcome to Explain the Charts. Today, June 23rd, 2025, we're analyzing QQQ, focusing on the news and the charts. Geopolitical tensions are high with the U.S. strikes on Iran, which are escalating the Israel-Iran conflict. This overshadows many economic factors, and investors are wary of Iran's response and potential U.S. involvement. Oil prices initially spiked, but have retraced some of the gains since then. Let's look at the one-day chart to see how this is impacting the market. On the daily chart, we can see some big swings lately. Looking back to late March and early April of 2025, we see a pretty massive drop followed by a huge spike and some more smaller swings afterwards. The market has generally been trending upwards since early 2025, with recent consolidations around the 530 level. Now let's zoom in on more recent candles. We'll take a look at the last 2 weeks. Over the last few weeks, we've seen some back and forth around 530. The most recent candle shows a drop driven by news related to the U.S. strikes on Iran and potential Strait of Hormuz closure. Key support to watch is around 520, and a potential resistance is near the 535 level. A break below 520 could signal a deeper correction. Now, let's dive into the hourly chart to get a more granular view of what's been happening recently. On the hourly chart, we can see a clear downtrend forming over the past few days. Zooming into the most recent hours, we are seeing some chop. We see the most recent hourly candles struggling below 530, which now appears to be acting as resistance. Given the current geopolitical uncertainty, and after a mostly upward trend for quite a while now, a short-term bearish outlook seems reasonable, with a potential dip towards 520 to 525 if the conflict escalates further. I'd say that's about 65% likely in the short term and 40% in the long term. However, if tensions ease, we could see a bounce back towards 535. That said, keep an eye on the news flow regarding Iran's response and any further U.S. actions. Let's also check out the 15-minute chart for some detail. This will really help zoom in and see what's happening. On the 15-minute chart, the consolidation near the end of the day is clear, with chop near 527 and 528. There are signs of struggle, but also uncertainty, as the price has just been bouncing around with no clear direction, which can be expected in the evening hours. Key price levels to watch, as we discussed, are 535 as resistance and 520 as support. Also, 525 is a soft support line to watch. Keep an eye on any developments related to the Iran situation, as well as the Fed's interest rate policy, as those will be major catalysts. That's all for today's analysis on Explain the Charts. Happy trading!